Ladies, if you're a mature woman who's ready to find love again, or if you're currently navigating the complex world of dating later in life, this video could be the most important thing you watch today. I'm here to have a real, honest conversation with you about something that society often doesn't want to discuss openly: the types of men who specifically target older women, and the warning signs you absolutely must recognize to protect yourself. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, whether you're divorced, widowed, or have been single for a while, you deserve love, respect, and genuine companionship. But here's the hard truth. There are men out there who see mature women as easy targets, and they're counting on your kindness, your desire for companionship, and sometimes your financial stability to take advantage of you. Today, we're going to expose the 7 most dangerous types of men that older women encounter in the dating world. These aren't just annoying personality quirks or minor incompatibilities we're talking about. These are serious red flags that can lead to emotional devastation, financial ruin, and even physical danger. But don't worry. This isn't about scaring you away from dating altogether. It's about empowering you with knowledge so you can make informed decisions and find the genuine, loving partnership you deserve. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to spot these predators from a mile away and protect yourself while still remaining open to authentic love. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive into this crucial conversation that could literally change your life. Type number 1, the gold digger. Let's start with perhaps the most obvious but often overlooked red flag, the gold digger. Now, when we think of gold diggers, we often picture young women targeting wealthy, older men. But the reality is that gold-digging men are increasingly targeting older women, especially those who are financially stable or recently divorced with assets. These men are master manipulators who know exactly how to present themselves. They're charming, attentive, and seem almost too good to be true, because they are. They'll sweep you off your feet with romantic gestures, but here's the catch. They're calculating every move based on what they think your financial situation looks like. The gold digger often has a sob story ready. Maybe he's going through a temporary financial hardship. Maybe he was wrongfully terminated from his job, or perhaps he's dealing with a medical emergency that's drained his savings. The story doesn't matter. What matters is that it's designed to pull at your heartstrings and open your wallet. Warning signs to watch for. He asks personal questions about your financial situation very early in the relationship. He seems more interested in your home, car, or lifestyle than in getting to know you as a person. He's quick to suggest expensive activities, but never offers to pay. He has excuses for why he can't contribute financially to dates or activities. He mentions financial problems or asks for money within the first few months of dating. Here's what makes this particularly insidious for older women. These men often target women who are recently divorced or widowed, knowing that you might be feeling vulnerable and grateful for male attention. They're betting on your generosity and your desire to help someone you care about. The gold digger might also present himself as a project, someone with great potential who just needs a little support to get back on his feet. He'll make you feel like you're investing in a future together, when in reality, you're just funding his lifestyle while he looks for his next victim. Remember, a genuine man who's interested in a real relationship will want to contribute equally to your time together. He'll be uncomfortable accepting expensive gifts or financial help, especially early in the relationship. He'll want to impress you with his character and personality, not with his ability to spend your money. Type number 2, the Peter Pan syndrome. The second type of man you need to avoid is what psychologists call the Peter Pan syndrome man, the grown man who refuses to grow up. This isn't about having a youthful spirit or enjoying fun activities. This is about a fundamental refusal to take responsibility for adult life. At first glance, these men might seem fun and carefree. They might make you feel young again, remind you of adventures you haven't had in years, or seem to offer an escape from the responsibilities of adult life. But here's the problem. While it might be refreshing initially, you'll quickly realize that you're not dating a partner, you're dating a dependent. The Peter Pan man typically has a history of unstable employment, not because of bad luck or economic factors, but because he can't handle the responsibility and commitment that steady work requires. He job hops frequently, always has excuses for why he left his last position, and often has grandiose plans for future success that never materialize. He's likely to still be heavily dependent on family members, particularly his mother, for financial support, housing, or even basic life management. He might be living with his parents well into his 40s, 50s, or beyond, not due to caring for them or economic necessity, but because he's never learned to fully support himself. The Peter Pan man is often charming and fun in the moment, but he's terrible at planning for the future or handling crises. When real life happens, and it always does, he'll either disappear or expect you to handle everything while he continues to live in his fantasy world. What makes this particularly challenging for older women is that you might find his carefree attitude refreshing after years of dealing with responsible but perhaps boring men. You might enjoy feeling needed and appreciated for your stability and maturity. But ask yourself, do you want to spend your golden years taking care of a grown man who should be taking care of himself? Signs to watch for. He has no clear career path or long-term goals. He's financially dependent on family members. He avoids serious conversations about the future. He becomes petulant or angry when faced with adult responsibilities. He expects you to manage practical aspects of your relationship while he focuses on fun activities. The bottom line is this: you've worked hard to build a stable, responsible life. You deserve a partner who has done the same, not someone who wants to coast on your achievements while contributing nothing but entertainment value. Type number 3, the emotional vampire. The third type of man to avoid is perhaps the most insidious, the emotional vampire. These men are masters at draining your emotional energy while giving nothing positive back in return. They're not necessarily obvious about it. In fact, they're often quite skilled at making you feel like you're the most important person in their world. The emotional vampire operates on a cycle of crisis and drama. There's always something wrong, always some emergency or problem that requires your immediate attention and emotional support. At first, you might feel honored that he trusts you enough to share his problems. You might feel needed and valuable, because you're the one he turns to when life gets difficult. But here's what's really happening. He's systematically conditioning you to believe that your primary value in the relationship is as his emotional support system. Your needs, your problems, your feelings become secondary to his constant state of crisis. These men are often dealing with untreated mental health issues, addiction problems, or personality disorders, but they refuse to seek professional help. Instead, they expect you to serve as their unpaid therapist, their emotional dumping ground, and their constant source of validation and reassurance. The emotional vampire might also use guilt and manipulation to keep you engaged. When you try to set boundaries or suggest that he seek professional help, he might accuse you of not caring, threaten to harm himself, or make you feel guilty for not being supportive enough. What makes this particularly dangerous for older women is that you might have a strong nurturing instinct and years of experience taking care of others. You might feel that your life experience and emotional maturity make you uniquely qualified to help this man work through his problems. But here's the harsh reality: you cannot love someone into mental health. You cannot fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed, and you shouldn't have to sacrifice your emotional well-being to support someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own healing. Warning signs include: every conversation revolves around his problems. He never asks about your day or your feelings. He becomes angry or manipulative when you're not available to listen to his problems. He refuses to seek professional help for obvious issues. He makes you feel guilty for having needs of your own. He uses threats of self-harm to manipulate your behavior. A healthy relationship involves mutual emotional support. Both partners should be able to share their struggles and receive comfort, but both should also contribute to the emotional well-being of the relationship. If you're always giving and never receiving, you're not in a relationship. You're being used. Type number 4. The control freak. The fourth type of man that older women must avoid at all costs is the control freak. This man might initially seem protective, attentive, and caring, but his true nature is about domination and control. He wants to manage every aspect of your life, and he's particularly dangerous for older women who might be vulnerable after major life changes. The control freak often starts subtly. He might offer to help you manage your finances because he knows about investments. He might suggest that you don't need to maintain certain friendships because those people don't have your best interests at heart. He might encourage you to sell your home and move in with him because it's more practical. What he's really doing is systematically isolating you from your support systems and taking control of your independence. He knows that older women often have established lives, financial resources, and strong social networks, and he sees these as threats to his control over you. The control freak is particularly insidious because he often frames his controlling behavior as care and concern. He might say he's worried about you driving at night, so you should let him handle all the evening errands. He might insist on managing your social calendar because he wants to make sure you're not overextending yourself. But here's what's really happening. He's slowly but surely taking away your autonomy. He's making you dependent on him for decision-making, social interaction, and even basic life management. This isn't love. It's psychological manipulation designed to make you easier, to control. The control freak might also use your age against you. He might suggest that you're not as sharp as you used to be, that you need someone to help you make important decisions, or that you should be grateful that someone is willing to take care of you. This is emotional abuse designed to undermine your confidence in your own judgment, warning signs to watch for. He insists on being involved in your financial decisions. He discourages or forbids contact with friends and family members. He monitors your activities, including your phone calls, emails, or social media. He makes decisions for you without your input. He becomes angry when you assert your independence. He uses your age or perceived vulnerabilities to justify his controlling behavior. The control freak is particularly dangerous for older women because he might exploit your desire for companionship and your fear of being alone. He might convince you that no one else will want to be with you, that you should be grateful for his attention, or that you're too old to start over if the relationship ends. But here's the truth. You have the right to maintain your independence, regardless of your age. You have the right to make your own decisions, maintain your own friendships, and control your own finances. Any man who tries to take these rights away from you is not a loving partner. He's a predator. Type number 5. The serial cheater. The fifth type of man that older women must avoid is the serial cheater. This man has made infidelity a lifestyle, and he specifically targets older women because he believes they'll be more forgiving, more desperate for companionship, or less likely to leave when they discover his betrayals. The serial cheater is often a master of compartmentalization. He might be able to maintain multiple relationships simultaneously, telling each woman exactly what she wants to hear. He's skilled at making you feel special and chosen, while he's doing the exact same thing with other women. What makes the serial cheater particularly dangerous for older women is that he often exploits the narrative that older women should be grateful for male attention. He might make you feel like you're lucky to have found love at your age, that you shouldn't be too demanding or expect too much fidelity because things are different when you're older. This is absolutely false and incredibly damaging. Your worth as a partner doesn't decrease with age, and you deserve the same level of respect, commitment, and fidelity that you would have expected when you were younger. The serial cheater often has a history of short-term relationships or marriages that ended due to infidelity. He might frame these as misunderstandings or blame his ex-partners for being too jealous or not understanding his needs. He might present himself as someone who's finally ready to settle down, but his actions tell a different story. He's likely to maintain active profiles on multiple dating sites, keep in touch with numerous ex-girlfriends, and have suspicious gaps in his schedule that he can't or won't explain. He might be secretive about his phone, computer, or social media accounts, claiming he values privacy when he's actually hiding evidence of his infidelity. The serial cheater might also use age-related insecurities against you. He might suggest that you're being paranoid or jealous without cause, that you should trust him because he chose you over younger women, or that your suspicions are signs of your own insecurity rather than his untrustworthy behavior. Signs to watch for. He has a history of relationships that ended due to infidelity. He's secretive about his phone, computer, or social media. He maintains close contact with numerous ex-girlfriends. He has unexplained absences or gaps in his schedule. He's still active on dating sites or apps. He deflects questions about his fidelity by making you feel guilty for asking. Here's what you need to understand. Infidelity is not a mistake or a momentary lapse in judgment for the serial cheater. It's a deliberate choice and a pattern of behavior. If he's cheated in every previous relationship, he will cheat on you too. Age doesn't make someone more deserving of betrayal, and you shouldn't have to accept infidelity as the price of companionship. A man who truly loves and respects you will be faithful regardless of your age. He'll be transparent about his activities, proud to be seen with you, and committed to maintaining the trust that's essential to a healthy relationship. Type Marker 6. The Rage-aholic. The sixth type of man that older women must absolutely avoid is the Rage-aholic, the man who has serious anger, management issues, and uses intimidation, threats, and sometimes violence to control those around him. This man is particularly dangerous because older women might be more physically vulnerable and less able to defend themselves or escape quickly if the situation escalates. The Rage-aholic might initially seem passionate and intense, which can be attractive after years of perhaps boring or emotionally distant relationships. He might be charming and apologetic after his outbursts, promising that it will never happen again and that you're the only one who can calm him down. But here's the critical truth. Anger that's severe enough to be frightening or destructive is not romantic, passionate, or acceptable under any circumstances. It's abusive behavior, and it will escalate over time if you stay with this person. The Rage-aholic's anger might be triggered by seemingly minor inconveniences. Traffic jams, long lines at the store, disagreements about where to eat dinner, or even your innocent comments about everyday topics. He might justify his outbursts by blaming external circumstances, other people, or even you for making him angry. What makes this particularly dangerous for older women is that you might excuse his behavior because of stress, health issues, or past traumas. You might think that your patience and understanding will help him learn to manage his anger better. You might believe that underneath the rage is a good man who just needs love and support. But anger management is not your responsibility, and it's not something you can fix with love and patience. Professional help is required, and even then, change is only possible if the person genuinely wants to change and is willing to do the hard work required. The Rage-aholic's behavior often follows a predictable cycle. Tension builds over minor issues. He explodes in anger, which might include yelling, throwing things, punching walls, or threatening behavior. Then comes the apology phase where he's remorseful and promises to change, followed by a honeymoon period where he's especially loving and attentive. Then the cycle repeats, usually with increasing intensity. Warning signs include he has explosive reactions to minor frustrations. He blames others for his anger. He punches walls, throws objects, or breaks things when angry. He uses intimidating body language or gets in your face during arguments. He has a history of anger-related problems at work or in relationships. He refuses to seek help for his anger issues. He makes you feel like you're walking on eggshells to avoid setting him off. Here's what you must understand. You are not responsible for managing another person's emotions, and you should never have to fear your partner's reaction to normal life situations. If you find yourself changing your behavior, avoiding certain topics, or feeling afraid of your partner's potential reaction, you are in an abusive relationship. Physical violence doesn't have to occur for a relationship to be abusive. Intimidation, threats, and explosive anger are forms of emotional abuse that can be just as damaging as physical violence. And statistical data shows that emotional abuse often escalates to physical violence over time. Your safety is more important than his feelings or his promises to change. If you're with someone who has serious anger management issues, please reach out to friends, family, or domestic violence resources for support in safely ending the relationship. Type number 7. The mommy hunter, the seventh and final type of man that older women must avoid, is what I call the mommy hunter, the man who is specifically seeking an older woman to take care of him in a maternal way. This isn't about age gap relationships where there's genuine mutual attraction and respect. This is about a man who wants a mother figure disguised as a romantic partner. The mommy hunter is often a man in his 40s, 50s, or even 60s who has never learned to fully take care of himself and is looking for a woman to fill that role. He might have been overly coddled by his actual mother, or he might have learned that women will take care of him if he presents himself as helpless or needy enough. This man is looking for someone to cook his meals, do his laundry, clean his living space, manage his schedule, and handle the practical aspects of adult life that he's either unwilling or unable to manage himself. He might frame this as wanting to be taken care of, or might suggest that he's looking for a traditional relationship where gender roles are clearly defined. But here's the problem. He's not looking for a partnership. He's looking for a service provider who will also provide emotional and physical intimacy. He wants all the benefits of having a mother and a girlfriend rolled into one person while contributing very little to the actual relationship. The mommy hunter often presents himself as somewhat helpless or overwhelmed by life's practical demands. He might not know how to cook basic meals, might live in a messy or chaotic environment, might struggle with basic household management, or might seem generally disorganized and in need of guidance. At first, you might find his neediness endearing, or might feel flattered that he sees you as capable and competent. You might enjoy feeling needed and appreciated for your life skills and experience. But what starts as occasional help will quickly evolve into you being responsible for managing his entire life. The mommy hunter might also have an inappropriate relationship with his actual mother. She might still be doing his laundry, cooking, his meals, or managing his finances well into his adult years. He might compare you to his mother, either favorably or unfavorably, might expect you to get along with and defer to his mother, or might run to his mother whenever you have disagreements. He's looking for someone to replicate the unconditional care and service he received or wished he had received from his mother, but he's not prepared to offer the same level of care and consideration in return. This creates a fundamentally unbalanced relationship where you're giving far more than you're receiving. Warning signs to watch for: he can't or won't perform basic adult tasks like cooking, cleaning, or managing his finances. He compares you to his mother or talks excessively about how his mother used to take care of him. He expects you to handle all practical aspects of your relationship. He becomes helpless or childlike when faced with basic life challenges. Has an inappropriate or overly dependent relationship with his mother. He frames his helplessness as charming or endearing, rather than taking responsibility for learning adult skills. What makes this particularly problematic for older women is that you might have spent decades taking care of others, children, aging parents or previous partners, and you might unconsciously fall into caretaking patterns with new partners. You might feel that your value as a partner is tied to your ability to nurture and care for others. But here's what you need to remember. A romantic relationship should be a partnership between two adults who can each take care of themselves and choose to share their lives together. You shouldn't have to be anyone's mother, and you deserve a partner who contributes equally to the practical and emotional aspects of your relationship. Ladies, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I know some of this information might be uncomfortable or even painful to hear, especially if you recognize patterns from your own dating experiences. But knowledge is power, and now you have the tools to protect yourself and make better choices moving forward. Let's do a quick recap of the 7 types of men you should avoid. First, the gold digger who's more interested in your bank account than your heart. Second, the Peter Pan syndrome man who refuses to grow up and wants you to be his caretaker. Third, the emotional vampire who drains your energy while giving nothing positive back. Fourth, the control freak who wants to manage every aspect of your life. Fifth, the serial cheater who will betray your trust repeatedly. Sixth, the rage-aholic whose anger issues make him dangerous to be around. And seventh, the mommy hunter who wants a mother figure rather than a genuine partner. Now, I want to address something important. Recognizing these red flags doesn't mean you should give up on love or become cynical about all men. There are wonderful, genuine, loving men out there who would be honored to share their lives with a mature, experienced woman like yourself. But you deserve better than settling for someone who will use, abuse, or take advantage of you. Your age is not a limitation. It's an asset. You have wisdom, experience, life skills, and so much to offer the right person. Don't let anyone convince you that you should be grateful for scraps or accept treatment that you wouldn't have tolerated. When you were younger, here's what I want you to remember. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't ignore red flags because you're lonely or because you think this might be your last chance at love. There's no expiration date on finding genuine companionship and happiness. Take your time getting to know someone before you commit emotionally or financially. Ask questions about their past relationships, their financial situation, their family dynamics, and their long-term goals. Pay attention to how they treat service workers, how they handle stress, and how they respond when you set boundaries. Most importantly, maintain your independence. Keep your own home, your own bank accounts, your own friendships, and your own interests. A man who truly loves you will support your independence, not try to undermine it. If you're currently in a relationship with someone who displays any of these red flag behaviors, please know that it's never too late to make a change. You deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and genuine love. Don't let fear, shame, or societal pressure keep you in a situation that's harmful to your well-being. Reach out to friends, family, or professional counselors if you need support. There are resources available to help you safely leave unhealthy relationships and build a better life for yourself. And if you're single and looking for love, approach dating with confidence and clear standards. You're not desperate, you're selective. You're not too old, you're experienced. You're not asking for too much, you're asking for what you deserve. Remember, being alone is infinitely better than being with someone who doesn't value, respect, or truly care about you. Your happiness and well-being should never be compromised for the sake of having a man in your life. I hope this video has been helpful and empowering for you. You have so much wisdom and strength, and you deserve a partner who recognizes and celebrates these qualities. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with other women who might benefit from this information. Your support helps us reach more women with these important messages. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content about relationships, self-empowerment, and living your best life at any age. In the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you encountered any of these types of men in your dating journey? What red flags have you learned to recognize? Your experiences could help other women avoid similar situations. And remember, your story isn't over. Whether you're 50, 60, 70 or beyond, you have the power to create the kind of life and relationships you truly want. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Until next time, remember, you are worthy of genuine love, respect, and happiness. Don't settle for anything less. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I know these conversations aren't always easy, but they're so necessary. Your safety, happiness, and well-being matter, and you deserve relationships that enhance your life rather than complicate or endanger it. If you found this video valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content about dating, relationships, and empowerment. For mature women, we're building a community of strong, wise women who support each other in making the best choices for their lives. And remember, every day is a new opportunity to choose happiness, to choose respect, and to choose the kind of life you truly want to live. You've got this, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Take care, stay strong, and I'll see you soon.